It is
Okay.
dead serious.
Well, that's not what you want from a comedian.
No,
Like usually
I
you
don't
want
understand.
jokes.
I don't understand because I've heard her on Howard Stern and stuff, and she can be very funny and interesting. She can be a good guest.
You know what's funny is I was looking up Sarah Silverman on Google, and it's like muscle memory took over. I was going to type in Sarah Silverman podcast. I just typed Sarah Silverman tits, and then went to images.
That's a better search.
This is a better search. Big shout out to Sarah Silverman and your fucking show about people dying. That's not very funny. Actually, has she had much mainstream success in the past decade? I don't see her in anything. I remember she was almost a mainstay of like Comedy Central in like the late 2010s. She would like float around to all those different programs, but I guess not anymore.
Yeah, she had her own TV show. She's been in movies, more in cameos and things. She put out a comedy special maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but she stopped dating Jimmy Kimmel. Nobody really cares anymore. So
I didn't know she dated Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, she's just depressing.
I heard her talk about that, and it was pretty interesting because Jimmy Kimmel's married to someone else now, and Sarah Silverman in that. Who does anyone know this person's name? Anyway, his wife. They were talking, and I guess they get along fine. And she's like, "This sucks. You got the good version of Jimmy Kimmel. The version of Jimmy Kimmel now is slim. He's, he's funny. He's kind of like got his act together. The one I got was the slovenly man show, like not into women or like into women. It wasn't nice to women, I guess, and apparently he's a much better version.
Also, all of his friends are A-listers now, and every party at his house is Tom Cruise coming over and shit. Like,
right.
Sarah's just like, well, he didn't know Tom Cruise when I was dating him. What the fuck?
Yeah, he knew Adam Carolla.
But she got the funnier. She got the funnier version of him. It could be because I was a young teenager, but I remember seeing the Man Show with him and Carolla and being like, all right, this isn't great, but it's keeping my attention.
I think that show holds up. I honestly, even the skits they did and stuff, because him and Adam are both very funny comics and really good writers. I think if you go back and watch old Man shows, even though, we were younger then and it was goofy and immature, I think it holds up.
I just thought women jumping on trampolines is worth it alone.
I'll tell you my favorite bit
at the time.
I'll tell you my favorite bit. I think maybe it was like a fake product. It was like, the brand new blah, blah, blah from Sears. Call this number to get, here's the product. And I think it was a way to get rid of dog shit. And so they got like a big pile of dog shit right there on the table. And he puts like a little firecracker in it. And he's like, this watch as I make the dog feces disappear. and he lights the lighter and he slowly brings the flame closer and closer to the fuse. And when he touches the fuse, it instantly explodes. There is no fuse like burn down slow, like no. As soon as he touches it, it just goes boom and sprays shit all over his face. And to me, that was the funniest thing ever. I love that bit. And the girls on the trampolines, of course. Yeah.
Here's my favorite bit. They're convincing this girl, and at the time I fully believed it. Now maybe the whole thing was fake. I don't know. But he's talking to this girl who seemed to be this like an interview on the street, and they wanted her to show her boobs. And she's like, no, I'm not down for it. And he's like, no, just do it. And she's like, no, just do it. And eventually he says, all right, flash them for like just a second, right? Up, down, real quick. And that was what it took. So she does it, and it goes to the slowest slow-mo ever. And it's on the screen for like a minute. It's like, that's funny. They tricked her.
There was another good bit they had where they're in an airport and they're dressed up as pilots. And they're acting like they're wasted.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, those like those human movers that they drive around and stuff. They're like got their legs out. Like, whoa, driving to their gate. That was fun.
I like bits like that. I saw Eric Andre did one and it went viral because people don't recognize Eric Andre all the time, I guess. But he's dressed as a cop who's been handcuffed to a pole and his pants are down. And he's begging people to help him with his pants. Please, at least pull my pants up. Does anyone have a handcuff key? And it's in like there are a lot of black people around and they're all laughing at him. And someone says, don't touch him. And it's like, oh shit. Like they won't help him. They're just recording him and laughing at him. It's great. I like Eric Andre. He grows on me the more I watch. Some of the bits on that show. Who's his Hannibal Buress?
Hannibal Buress, where he'll say something like Eric Andre will say something absurd, and then Hannibal will be like, "Man, that ain't even a little bit cool. You can't be saying that." Like just like being very deadpan, very.
Well, I like how
delivery.
they have this kind of.
He got Cosby. Big shout out. That's a big tag.
That's true.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
It has this vibe that reminds me a little bit of Between Two Ferns or whatever with Galifianakis, where sometimes they'll try to make the guest uncomfortable because like there's only one chair. It's set up like a normal night, like a Tonight Show, and normally you maybe you got your sidekick or whatever, and then he slides down to the seat to the left, and the guest sits down, and if there's a third guest, so on and so forth. There's only one fucking chair. So Hannibal Buress just stands there looming over you. And it's like, it's just a recurring bit that like makes me laugh every time. And then just weird shit will happen. Fireworks will be going off, like all sorts of nonsense. I watch more and more of that show. And I don't know, I could maybe 3 episodes and I'm done. But like the first 2 episodes, I like, I can only take so much.
As far as talk shows, it's a lot better than Jimmy Kimmel crying during the monologue, which is what we're watching now on mainstream. Do you guys see the LA fires where he came out and just started crying about it?
Oh, he cried again? I thought
yes.
Okay, he cries a lot then.
Recently, he came on and rather than like write jokes about what's going on, he just came out and said a lot of people lost their homes, and we all know people who lost their homes and lost everything, and just started crying. It's like, you know, some people go to the show to escape reality.
Yes. Yeah.
Trying to get a laugh in before we go to bed.
Do you not understand? Like, this is supposed to be a bit of levity for people who have all sorts of issues that, believe it or not, extend beyond a fire.
Yeah, like, it's Chappelle on SNL.
Chappelle did 18-minute monologue to open SNL and went over the fires and a little bit of Trump. And there was a part where he's like, "It's way too soon to make fun of a tragedy like that."
Dude, Dave Chappelle
he's like, you would almost think that God hates those people.
Yeah. If you're thinking about it logically, you'd have to come to the conclusion that God hates those people.
Now, and then he goes, "No, that can't be true because West Hollywood was untouched. You can't burn what is already flaming." like he went on a roll. It was very good, and he had a couple of really good skits. He had a sketch where like their house is burning down in LA, and he's like, "Oh shit! Oh, I got to get the money out of the wall, and I got to get like he's like a mysterious guy. His family is learning a lot about him in a very short amount of time because he's got secrets hidden in the walls and stuff, and it progresses and gets wilder.
You gotta get the kids out of the basement, probably something like that.
Literally,
yeah. There is a family.
There's a white family. There's a white family in the wall that he's got, and they speak French, and they're very sooty when they come out and confused. He's like, "Get out of here!
I'm free."
Cigarettes.
The French love that.
Yeah, they do. They run on them. Yeah,
there aren't really any comedy shows, at least new ones that are coming out now, that I think are excellent. Like I always find myself going back to old ones, and the ones I do think of aren't like long standing or long format shows. Rather, it's like silly Adult Swim style stuff like Smiling Friends, where it's like, all right, this is novel, this is a throwback to the old Adult Swim style. I like this, the disjointed silliness and the almost the borderline upsetting art style that adds to the flavor of it. But
have you watched Detroiters?
Aren't very many.
Yeah, Detroiters is wild.
Detroiters. There's like a couple seasons of it. There, you can popcorn one episode. You can watch it almost out of order. It's
got Tim Robinson in it. He's
zany, very zany show. Very silly humor, but then some like my favorite bit was when they got their faces painted on their truck or their company vehicle, and they made the white guy look so ugly. Like hideous. Like they went out of their way, almost like a caricature of him. He's like, "Wow, they really got the dark circles under my eyes." Well, and but then the black guy looks like, you know, a handsome cartoon version of himself.
Hold on, Zach. Can you pull this? I need to find a better picture of it. This is so funny.
The plot line runs something like this: the white guy inherits his father's middling advertisement agency. And he also inherits his father's like 75-year-old secretary that his father was 80-year-old maybe that his father was probably banging. And she's trying to be like slutty 50s like Don Draper style secretary, but she's 80. It's a fun show. It's good. Oh yeah, show that, Zach. Show the van. They made him look like Gollum.
They made him look like fucking like Smeagol 200 years after he got the ring on them.
Like the black guy looks so. It's a handsome version of.
Yeah, the black guy has a jawline now. He's not big and fat.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Taylor's. The new shows aren't good.
Yeah,
Man,
they just don't.
Some of the ones I have the
comedies.
highest hopes for, like so I like Seinfeld a little anyway. Frosted sucked. F is for Family from Bill Burr, one of my all-time favorites. Fucking blew. Watched every season. And I didn't see Tires from Shane Gillis. I just say that.
That's
Was
pretty good.
that bad? Was that good?
It's pretty good.
If you like
Yeah.
Shane, then you
Yeah.
can. It'll carry.
usually
That'll
do.
carry you through it.
It was not bad, but if you're like me and you know Shane the most from the Matt and Shane Secret podcast, and even way more than his stand-up, even it falls short there because like Shane and Matt McCusker are fucking hysterical together on the Matt and Shane Secret podcast, and then you go to Tires and it's like it's not bad. I'm not going to rip it, but it's not.
Stavros is great on that
it's
show.
not his peak of humor. So
it's
the
cool
fat,
to see Stavi on there. Yeah,
the fat like
Did you see
the
regional
bit with AJ
manager or whatever it is. Yeah.
Did you see the bit with JJ Watt?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that was funny.
Woody, you should find it on YouTube. It's 60 seconds long. You'll crack up. It's JJ Watt comes in and Shane Gillis is bullying him.
Really?
He's like,
I think I
JJ
did see that.
Wan. Call him JJ Wan. What are you doing here, JJ Wan? We don't sell tissues. Oh, that was great.
You know what? I don't need this. And he just leaves because he fucking plays in the NFL.
Yeah.
Woody, if you like Seinfeld, what do you think about Curb in the final season of Curb?
Oh, I'm not caught up on that.
I have
Kyle
not.
would know.
What do you
Yeah,
think, Kyle?
So I love Curb.
Me too.
I've really enjoyed the longevity, and I like that he's taking breaks over the time, and there's that big break in the middle, and he looks so old in the last season.
Yeah, everyone's rough.
I didn't
he is
finish it. I didn't finish it because he's 78 and he looks 88, and he's too frail and he looks it. I couldn't get through it.
You should finish it. I really liked the way they tied it all together at the end because it harkens back to the Seinfeld finale. They do a beautiful job of it.
Okay. I mean, I will then. I didn't think they were going to have like a crescendo where they really wrap things up well. I thought maybe it'd just be, fuck it.
I mean, maybe you'll be disappointed. I enjoyed it. I thought they did a nice job with that.
I love the show. I've seen most of it. When there's a bit where he's on a chair lift or a snow lift, whatever you call it, ski lift.
Yeah.
With that Jewish girl who's Orthodox or whatever. And she's like, I can't be with a man after sunset. You've got to jump because the lift is stuck. And he's like, are you fucking crazy? And she jumps. Oh, that show's great. Yeah. Just decades of awkward Seinfeld-esque comedy.